So I just wanted to talk to you about the mind drama that we create around how easy it gets to be for us. And unconsciously, you're creating resistance between you and money. And I really want you to think about this, okay? Is when I say, I want you to just follow up with that client, the one who told you, no, not right now. What is it that is stopping you from following up with them? I really want you to be honest with yourself about that, because the reality of it is most sales happen as a result of following up with a potential client. So what is the drama, the mind drama that you're creating between yourself and that sale? What is the mind drama that you are creating between yourself and potentially working with that client? What are some of the thoughts that you're having around that? Is it they're gonna find me annoying? Okay. They're going to think I'm being salesy. They're going to think that I'm being pushy. Whatever that is, I want you to get that on paper, because these are the sales blocks that you're creating between yourself and basically getting a sale, basically working with that client. If you have to bring what is in the subconscious mind to the surface so you can work on it. Because I see time and time again that big-hearted women, big-hearted coaches, service providers, entrepreneurs who have so much to give, but they're so in their head about why they shouldn't follow up with someone, why they shouldn't post that content, why they shouldn't send off that email. And I just want you to work on that piece. In order for you to work on that piece, you have to get super clear. What is it that prevents you from actually following up with that potential client? I see this time and time again with my clients where they, their sales are low. I always say this, when sales within my business, where let's say it's like a slower month and I'm beginning to see, okay, like this season's coming up and I just want to increase like cash flow and money coming in, then for me, it makes sense for me to then follow up with potential clients, because one-on-one is always going to be, for my business, the fastest cash injector. Okay, because it doesn't require as much marketing as it does sales, because you're genuinely reaching out to people who have shown interest in the past. So is it a fear of rejection? Okay, if you're aware that it's fear of rejection, I want you to work on that. One of my favorite tools, and many of you already know this, to work on that is emotional freedom technique. So I do have practices that you can do to really help serve you when it comes to money, when it comes to beginning to clear that energetic field, beginning to clear some of the blocks that's coming up. Why do we do that work? We do that work so that way you can get out of like all the scarcity that's within your body, all the reminders. It remembers when that client said no and how like you felt that, and you're like, right? They said no, and like what you made it mean, and all the stories we tell ourselves. And we tell ourselves we're not good enough. We tell ourselves, oh, I know this wasn't meant for me. We tell ourselves, oh my gosh, I can't pay the bill this month because I don't have enough. Whatever it is, all the stories we tell ourselves, and so we create blocks then that prevents us from being able to actually work with the people we know that we can serve. And so if you're having a slow month, well, as of this recording, it's November. For if you're not running a Black Friday sale, especially if you're a service provider and you're not running a Black Friday sale, and maybe the holiday season is just slower for you, it's like, okay, let's think through. If I needed to book a client, or I wanted to book a client, have a cash injection come up, the fastest way to do that is to follow up with a client. And then as you're thinking of this client, I want you to actually write down, picture 3 potential clients that you have encountered in the past. They are aware of your body of work. This is not where you're marketing, okay? Marketing is like you're bringing a lot of awareness. There's so many different layers to it. This is the selling part. This is the part where these are people who have already came across your work, who may have been on a waiting list in the past, who have attended a live workshop with you, who has shown interest in your work, and they have specifically told you not at this time. But due to finances, whatever the situation may be. But things may have changed for them in the last like 3 months, in the last 6 months. And for many of you, it's probably been forever since you actually follow up with them. Perhaps you have done a discovery call, and at the end of it, they told you no, and you took that to mean certain things about you, your body of work, whatever that is. I want you, okay, this week, if you want to get a sale at the end of this week, I want you to follow up with them. Okay, before you follow up with them, I want you to clear whatever blocks are coming up for you that is preventing you from moving forward with that is preventing you from feeling like you can approach them. Okay, so I want you to write that down. Okay, what's coming up for me? Okay. It could be fear, rejection. I'm afraid of this, telling them no. Okay, let's go with that. Let's play with that scenario. And if they say no, I'm taking it to mean, what are you making it mean if they say no? What are you making it mean if that actually happens? We're going to play with that scenario, because what's happening is you're playing with that scenario in the back of your mind, and your subconscious mind is costing you sales. So instead of that playing with that scenario, I want you then, instead of just having it in your head, I want you to actually bring that out to the physical realm. I want you to actually pretend like that is the scenario. Okay, let's play it out. If that happens, I'm making it mean. What are you making it mean? Okay, that you're not meant to do this work, whatever that is for you. I just want you to bring some awareness to it. I do have an EFT tap that you can do with it that really helps walk you through that. If you want to book a one-on-one with me, a one-off EFT session so we can help you clear that, let's do that. But it is very important that you clear what is coming up, because if you don't, I don't want to say guarantee you, because there's no guarantees, but I know that this is coming up for you subconsciously. And if you're honest with yourself, this is what's preventing you from actually doing the selling part of your business. You're comfortable with maybe hiding behind like stories or even posts and waiting for people to come to you. Yeah, but you're not as comfortable yet with maybe selling, or maybe you have tried doing a discovery call and people kept saying no to you, and because they kept saying no to you, you made it mean certain things about yourself. You made it mean certain things about your business, which, by the way, okay, I'm just gonna tell you, isn't true, but it doesn't matter what I tell you. I can say all day long that your work is of deep service, that people need your body of work, that you are a gift, but it doesn't matter what I say if you yourself in your body do not believe that, in your subconscious mind do not believe that. And this is why you hear time and time again from successful entrepreneurs why they say mindset work is so important. But a lot of us are not getting real with ourselves. We're not being honest when we catch ourselves in self-sabotaging patterns. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. You are self-sabotaging your business. There is a part of you that is afraid of rejection. There is a part of you that is afraid of being seen. There is a part of you that is afraid of being judged by others. And because of that, you self-sabotage your own success. You self-sabotage the energetic exchange, which is really what money at the end of the day is. It is your services in exchange for their resource of money. Yeah, it's the same as when you go out there and you get services from other. It is you exchanging your resource of money for someone else's service, someone else's product. That's all it is. But when we create mind drama and we make it mean certain things about ourselves, it is very difficult then for us to be able to step fully embodied in our feminine, then to hop on that discovery call and we make it about ourselves, versus we allow them to make the empowered decision, knowing that we're leading a call from a place of integrity. Or they say no, and then we make it about us. We make it about, oh, I could have, there's something wrong with me, I'm not meant to do this. Versus it's like, okay, they said no. They stepped into their power and they said no because they said they're not ready at this time. Okay, let's take that as fact. And now you're going to follow up with them and say, oh, you can let them know something super as simple as, hey, a few months ago, you reached out about this. Is this something that you're still working on? Right? That's a great connection point. Okay, amazing. And then, if you're already close to them, I like being in the DMs because then you get to have that fluid conversation. But then, of course, you could always follow up. Okay, Okay, sounds good. Have you done anything? It's kind of like that same DM process. By the way, if you don't know how to actually converse with people in the DMs and it feels like, okay, I'm writing everything Michelle says because I actually don't know how to have these conversations, I do have DM scripts for you that you can grab. And it's just going to really help you to understand the dynamics of being in conversation in the DMs and what that sales process could potentially look like, whether it's booking someone for a discovery call, or if you're doing or if you're just, gonna close someone in the DMs, especially when like low ticket offers are very easy to close in the DMs, or if you've done a live workshop and you're simply following up, things of that nature. But I do have DM scripts for you. So if that's something you struggle with, please don't let that hold you back. I don't want you to create so many barriers, so many blocks between yourself and the sale. It gets to be easy. It gets to be as easy as you reaching out to someone, checking up on them, seeing how they're doing, and then reminding them then of what problem they came to you for and seeing if they still want to potentially work together with you. That's all that is. That's all following up with the sale really is, with a potential client, and then you being reminded of how powerful your body of work is. Because I feel like especially for those of us who are doing more like mindset work, energetic works, or things of that nature, is that we need to be reminded of how powerful our body of work is. And because we're not getting that on a daily basis, and you created a pattern of not getting paid for your body of work, and because you have that pattern of not being paid for your body of work, then your subconscious mind slowly over time says, there's no point in this is never going to work out for me, why bother? And then your self-esteem has diminished to the point where you don't actually think this body of work is possible for you. Like, you can actually make money doing this body of work. And so I just want to remind you and encourage you that in order for you to be embodied, is remember that you want to do that work yourself. You want to create habits that is going to increase your sales esteem. That means you work on things that actually gets you uncomfortable, so that way it becomes fluid. It becomes an extension of who you are, because selling is service. Yeah, your body of work is a deep service, no matter what it is that you sell. Otherwise, you won't be so heartbroken when someone says no. You won't have created so much mind drama and pour so much of your time and energy into this unless you know that your body of work is of service to someone else, is service to humanity. So I just want to remind you of that. And again, I do have resources for you down below if you're stuck with your DM scripts and you're just like, I don't even know what to say. Like, what do I even say in the DMs? And it's not because you're not a genuine person, but what I have seen time and time again is that you have a big heart, you're very genuine, and all of a sudden you go in DMs and you freeze. You freeze. And then you're saying, you're like, feel like you're pushy, and then so as a result of that, you are pushing to sell, and then you create a very strange dynamic between them and you, where you're in the pushy masculine, and then so what happens, they go into hiding, they ghost you, they become unresponsive, versus you stepping into your empowered feminine. And so that way, it's that receiving energy. That's the energy you want to be in, so that way the client is in their masculine, they're the one looking to you for a solution, because you're creating this very strange like dynamic where they end up being like feeling in their disempowered feminine, so they go into hiding, they go into freeze, they go into fawn, and they basically just don't want anything to do with you, right? Because now you're seen as like this disempowered masculine. So that's the dynamic you don't want in the DMs. That's not the dynamic you want to bring into your discovery calls, because it's not creating safety for your client's nervous system then to invest. Yeah. And so I hope that was helpful for you. Again, if you want to close a call, if you want to close a sale at the end of this week, follow up with your potential clients. It's going to help you boost your sales esteem, and you're going to start seeing more cash flow in your business. All right. Hope that was helpful for you, friends, and I will catch you later.